Hey guys, welcome back to my next art book preview video. This week we have the art of the Legend of Vox Machina. So a quick look at the front and the back there. This one is a hardback. It's quite difficult to actually fit in shot. You can see it's quite a thick book as well. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so I've just about fit this in on camera, and if you want to pause the video here, this is a quick look at the contents if you want to have a proper read through. It does say Season 1 and Season 2, which we're going to talk about, but I'm pointing that out just because that means it may contain spoilers for some of you guys. Apologies, by the way, these are very glossy pages, and it's always really difficult to get these the lighting right in book videos when it's glossy pages, so hopefully you can see this well enough. The lighting does fluctuate a lot throughout my videos because when my camera picks up the turning of the page as it gets close to the camera, it sometimes makes it overexposed or underexposed, so yeah, apologies for that. So we're going to see quite a lot of character art at the beginning. That's my favourite part of any art book, and this one does contain other things like environments and things like that. It very much reminds me of like a video game art book. A lot of video game art books seem to contain, you know, a section on environments, some storyboard sections, which again we will see throughout, and then, you know, character art, concept art, things like that. This page caught my attention as well because I thought this was really cool. It very much reminds me of like a Lord of the Rings map in its style. So I really like that. You can probably tell from my backdrop that I am a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, and I do have the Lord of the Rings map in the background. Not that that's overly clear. So anyway, this book is absolutely full to the brim of art, and this is like around about 200 pages. This was only released probably about a week or so ago at the time of me uploading this video. I actually didn't know anything about Vox Machina at all. I bought this for a Christmas gift for my sister who asked for this, and I got the book and I had a quick flick through myself, and I really liked the artwork, so I decided to get myself a copy. So because of that, I can't tell you a huge amount about this program. In fact, I can tell you next to nothing about this program, and I'd be quite intrigued if you guys that know about this already could leave me some comments and give me a bit of an explanation of what it actually is. I had a quick Google, and I saw this book is actually based on the animation, which I believe is on Amazon Prime at the moment, so I will have to watch that. But there's also, it comes up a lot about how it's based on like Dungeons and Dragons, D&D. I think I've got that right. It's not something that I know much about at all. I'm very inexperienced with that kind of thing, but always been intrigued by it. The artwork that I have seen throughout this, which I've only glanced at so far, it does remind me of certain video games like Dragon Age, for example. That's a recent one. So if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with that type of thing. But yeah, I'm really big into fantasy like that, especially the character design, monster design, dragons, stuff like that. So this is really right up my street, I guess you could say. Now, because I didn't know anything about this, I thought I'm not really going to have much to say in the video, so I watched a trailer for it before I started reviewing this book or previewing this book on camera, and I have to say, it actually looks really cool. I'm actually really intrigued by it now. I don't usually watch many like 2D animations, haven't really since I was a kid, but I did watch the Invincible animation a couple of months back, and I actually thought that was really good. And this sort of reminded me of that, like an adult animation or an animation that, you know, isn't just aimed at kids. Not that they all are, but yeah, so I'm thinking I might give this a go. But anyway, when I was Googling this, I also noticed it come up with some comics, more than one actually, and I had a quick look at them, and the cover art on the comics was really cool, really nice style, really nicely drawn. So I started looking at some previews of those as well, and from what I've seen, just at a quick glance, the interior of those comics for Vox Machina looks really nicely done. So if any of you guys have read the comics or have those, please do let me know your thoughts because I'm really tempted to get some. I've started collecting comics recently. I'm not really a comic book guy, and my biggest issue with them usually is, you know, the covers are nice, but often the interior work isn't that great. So that always used to put me off. But yeah, I've come across some where the interior is quite nice recently, so I've started kind of collecting some of those. So yeah, please do let me know. This book is brand new, so you can hear the pages are still stuck together. So we're seeing some really nice fantasy designs throughout this. Some of them remind me, again, of like a Dragon Age or, you know, Baldur's Gate, that kind of thing, if you're into video games. There's also a deluxe edition of this art book that just came out. I'm never sure what the difference is. I think they usually come with maybe a limited edition print or something like that. I will put links to where I got this from, and any books that are kind of related to this in the description box below. So what I mean by that is if I've got any other art books in this style, I will link to those because you guys know me. I have way too many art books. So yeah. And as mentioned earlier on in the video, you're going to see throughout, we've got concept art, character art, we've got maps, we've got thumbnails and what I assume are like storyboards, as well as like the environments and things like that. So there's a bit of everything in here. It's a very colourful book. And we're getting towards the end here. I didn't realise, but it actually says like the episodes up here. So maybe these are like individually broken down by episode. Again, sorry if you've seen any spoilers. Kind of spoiling it for myself, seeing as I'm planning on watching this now. But it is what it is. I'm skipping quite a few pages, by the way. This is a huge book, but we're nearing the end, and I'm going to leave it at that now. So I hope you did find this video useful if you were considering buying the book. And last of all, make sure you subscribe so I can keep making content like this. Thanks for watching, everyone.